There are two parts of financial market. Number one, the back end. Number two is the front end. The front end part of financial market covers terminals. Thomson Reuters, Bloomberg, ECNs, electronic communication networks, EFX matching engines, peer-to-peer networks, edge technologies, prop desk, CPO, commodities pool operator, and all these things. Mutual funds, hedge funds, private equity, and all these players. It's a big gamut. Let it be honest. The back end of financial market covers regulations. There are around 16 plus regulations we have across the globe, top 16, although the list is very long. This is shortly known as RegTech, regulatory technologies. This includes the alternative money laundering directions, MiFID II, Market in Financial Instrument Directive II, COREP, Common Reporting Languages, DFST, Dodd-Frank stress test, and the list is very long. Basel III and all. There is another part in the back end which is known as accounting. And the two bodies in the accounting are playing an active role, with due respect, both. ISB, International Accounting Standard Board, who is a custodian of IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standard, and FASB, Financial Accounting Standard Board, who is the custodian of US GAAP. Though US GAAP is phasing out slowly across the globe, and like Singapore is IFRS 1st January 2018, although India is not on the IFRS, there are many companies who are still maintaining on the US GAAP, but probably eventually in another year or so, it would be IFRS across the globe, to be honest. In this whole gamut, four things play a very important role in financial market. Number one is the functional understanding of financial market front end, which includes Reuters, Bloomberg, ECNs, EFX matching engines, peer-to-peer networks, edge technologies, prop desk, and all. This functional understanding is actually the role of degree. Degree, not all, specific degree, which means MBA, Masters in Business Administration. I really doubt whether M is actually master or some another word, but in paper it is Masters in Business Administration. CFA, Chartered Financial Analyst. This is wrong. Certified Financial Analyst. GARP, FRM, Faltu Risk Management, and the list is very long. So this functional piece is actually granted to the degree people, to the institutions, those who are imparting these degrees. We have millions of business schools in the globe, those who are imparting MBAs. Millions. We have Institute, CFA, we have FRM, we have GARP, we have hundreds of risk management institutes across the globe, those who are providing risk management degrees. Then comes the back-end piece. In the back-end piece, the regulation, there is no degree currently we have covering the regulation. Maybe in future we might have. But to learn these regulations, you need to set your information technology architecture. Now you must be thinking, what is information technology architecture doing here? You need to visit their website, upload your login ID. You will get an email either on a daily basis, weekly basis, fortnightly basis. You need to read this, download. I agree, it's a humongous job. But the learning is very good, that is for sure. Like today, if I start counting my email ID, weigh in how many websites I have uploaded that email ID, I myself do not know. But every day I get so many emails from research reports and all, and I read many. I read many, not all. The third piece, which is very, very important piece, is the accounting. Here the life of the person is very easy because FASB and IASB are the only two accounting bodies in the world. And we have only 5 or 6 big four, such like PwC, KPMG, Deloitte, EY, GT, Grant Thornton and BDO. So we just need to set up email IDs on 6 or 7 websites and we get a lot of information from them and we need to digest that. Digestion is always a problem for most of the people, and knowledge digestion is definitely a big problem for most of the people. In all this scene, 2 degrees play a very important role in the globe. One is CA, Chartered Accountant, whose custodian is Institute of Chartered Accountant of India. In fact, I am on the panel of the Institute of Chartered Accountant of India as a faculty. And second is the CPA, American Institute of CPA. I don't know, but many people prefer CPA over CA, and I have seen many cases in Singapore. Now let's talk with CA. CA is a 5-year program. So you have first phase, then you have internship, then you have group 1, then you have group 2, and then you have GMCS, then you get your CA degree. In this internship, most of the people end up learning the concept which they do not want to. In Indian context, they never get an exposure of RegTech, Basel III, IFRS, I would say anti-money laundering, Directives 4, CRR, COREP, fixed protocols. They never get an exposure. And more importantly, even after doing 5 years of the whole chartered accountancy course, you will not get an exposure. Example, in this CA, you have a paper called SFM, Strategic Financial Management. How strategic is the financial management? I myself do not know till now, after watching this course or after viewing this course on the Google. On paper, we have BOS, Board of Studies, and the job of the Board of Studies is to develop or to create a material and to give to the students, either in the video format or in the audio format or in the written format. But many of the books which is being written by the CA Institute are either obsolete or they are out of context. So if I start my CA today and for a minute I assume that after 5 years I get a degree, I end up in the market with zero practical knowledge. Do I know Reuters? No. Do I know Bloomberg? No. Do I know OMS, EMS, RegTech, FinTech, Agritech, InsurTech? I know nothing. The only thing I know are triangle, which is audit, audit, audit. And 95% of the chartered accountants in the globe live their whole life in this triangle, which is audit, audit, audit. And then comes another degree, which is CPA, American Institute of CPA. Here the course is divided into 4 parts: auditing and attestation. Don't worry, I am a person of data. Financial accounting and reporting, business environment and concepts and regulation. Before moving further, I would like to read this article, which is published in the Singaporean newspaper. You know, I am based out Singapore, so we have access to all articles. Just read this carefully. This year would be a crucial one for the corporate auditing. For the second time in the century, a series of big scandals is forcing the big 4 accounting firms to rethink their business models. Carefully. After 2008 collapse of Enron, tightening US rule on the selling of the services to the audit clients led KPMG, Deloitte, EY and PwC to sell or spin off their consultancy arm. But those businesses have regrown so robustly through sales to non-audit client, that audit revenue make only a fifth of this or more, only a fifth of that. Now slowly, auditors should also be encouraged to look forward beyond company executives by giving them a duty to alert regulators if they have concern about the company, and all these theory. In this, there is another article which comes that the big fours are moving towards artificial intelligence. And we have mentioned this on our TikTok. That is the statutory or maybe internal audit is moving towards artificial intelligence or machine learning. I don't know, but many big fours are spending money in that regards. Now this creates a problem. I do CA, I do MBA, I do CFA, I do FRM, I do GARP, anything I do, I end up receiving the knowledge which is useless. Example. In this auditing and attestation, there is a attestation standard called SSAE 16, which generate an attestation of SOC. You have SOC 1, SOC 2 and SOC 3. SOC 3 is nothing but a kind of attestation letter. Is the CPA course is practically teaching how to do information technology audit, or it is just taught you the attestation standard? Example. There are two types of information technology audits across the globe. Number one, or two ways information technology audit can be done. One is the COVID-5, control objective of information and related technologies, and one is the SSA 16, service organizational control, SOC 1, SOC 2, SOC 3. It is said that COVID is for manufacturing while SOC is for service concern. So let's take Apple. Apple have services? Everyone know. Apple have manufacturing? Everyone know. I am CPA. I did all the theory part of SSA 16 and passed the exam. How would I do practically? Tell me. Is my degree useful? I mugged up everything in SSA 16. Is my degree useful? Let's take it further. Financial accounting and reporting. They teach IFRS. Let me ask 3 simple questions of IFRS. Even though I'm not a chartered accountant, but I'm still asking questions. Because degree is nowhere relevant. Everyone know. Question number 1 is very simple. Very, very simple. How to compute ECL, expected credit losses, mathematically. No theory. And tell me one page in your guide provided by the CPA wherein it teaching you ECL or various methodologies of ECL, expected credit losses. And in fact, now the situation is tough because ECL is ISP guidelines, IFRS guidelines. Now, US GAAP is coming up with CECL, current expected credit losses. So can I have one page of CPA who give me the methodologies of CECL and ECL mathematically using a formula? Let me ask a second question, which is my favorite, which is contingent considerations. There are 3 forms of contingent considerations in merger and acquisitions. Number 1, cash. Number 2, stock. Number 3, blended. And the problem gets worse once we have contingent considerations derivatives, which is also known as CCD. CCD doesn't mean cafe coffee day. This is known as contingent consideration derivatives. Example, when I add option with a swap, I term this as swaption. Option plus swap equal to swaption. Similarly, I did derivative plus contingent consideration equal to contingent consideration derivative. And number 3, very simple. Again, a very simple question. Very simple question. How to compute mark to market L3? Take only two derivatives from FICC, fixed income, currency and commodity. So on paper, CPA teach me financial accounting and reporting, but practically am I being taught about these concepts? Third is business environment and concept. In this business environment and concept, currently there is a humongous amount of discussion which is happening on ESG. And a lot of people came to me and said that which part of ESG you support. I always say I support the G, governance, more than E and S, environmental and social. Because I am not a scientist, so I cannot support E. I am not a politician, so I cannot support S. So I am a trader, I support G. And being a businessman, I support G more. Governance. Is the business environment and concept teaching ESG? By the way, if you visit the BIS website, Bank for International Settlement, they have added another term which is known as green swan, which means the climate change. And that's hats off to the BIS. Fourth is a regulation. Is the CPA teaching Basel III? Is the CPA teaching common reporting language? Is the CPA teaching XBRL? Is the CPA teaching fixed protocol? Is the CPA teaching 6 sisters of fixed protocol? By the way, you should know that fixed protocol, including himself, having 6 brothers and sisters. And there are enormous examples I have. Is fixed protocol teaching is regulation teaching that? Now the scene is getting more complicated, because the one side of the globe is talking about IoT, Internet of Things, virtual reality, cryptocurrencies, central banks, digital currency, digital coins, tokens, and all these things which majority of the books do not teach, or they even do not talk, and where people have multiple interpretation issues. Example, I have an interpretation issue with Project Jasper, with Project Ubin, which I am sharing on the YouTube. Now the question is, in short, we need to decide and we need to agree is that are these degrees, which is CPA, CFA, GARP, FRM, are these degrees anyway relevant? And specifically CPA, is this degree relevant anymore? Now I give this question to you. I know that there are many people, those who are bookish people, they only wanted to learn what the book says. They always have a hard feelings about if somebody come in the public domain and target anything, and specifically they have a hard feeling with the people, those who challenge the status quo and all. I know that we do have many such people on the board, but having said that, I just have one question from you, and I hope that you will answer this question, because I strongly believe that degrees are useful. The purpose of degrees was perfect, that the front part of the financial market should be given to degrees and the back part should be given to self-learning. But what happened, the degrees foregone their role about the front part and let the back part would definitely be on that individual. And with the advent of fintech and regtech, insurtech, agriculture tech, it is getting very difficult to say that any degree is doing or serving the purpose for what it is being actually made. With this, we thank you very much. You know my mobile number, which is +91 9899242978. You know my other mobile number, which is +91 9818485155. You know our fixed income platform, www.fixedincome.global. Almost all information about our mobile numbers, email and everything is there, apart from the treasury desk is there. We continue to put a lot of new things. We don't worry about the people, because we know one thing, that The world is moving towards a new trajectory. Almost every day banks are cutting jobs. Today Julius Baer cut jobs. Dubai Islamic Bank cut jobs. I don't know about tomorrow, but tomorrow maybe some other bank who is lying for cutting job. Tesla again reported a loss. And I know that majority of the people in India, they are busy in Ram Mandir, the citizenship bill and all these issues. But having said that, the day would surely come in my life when the people start talking about the technical things, but by that time it would be very late. Because I assure you one thing, that the degree culture do not hold true anymore. With this, we thank you very much. You know my mobile number and everything. You can definitely contact us in case you have any question. We try and answer your query. Talk soon.